from www.themindfulhabit.com. And in this micro lesson, I want to share with you 3 self-help myths that are actually causing a tremendous amount of suffering and keeping you stuck at best. At worst, these myths are like an anchor dragging you down. If you want the extended teaching on these topics, check out my podcast, Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions, where you will get a really comprehensive analysis of these 3 myths with Coach Adrian. All right, so let's go. Number 1, the toxic myth number 1 is the myth of the self-made man. There is no one that is self-made. Everyone stands on the shoulders of others. And if you believe that myth and perpetuate that myth, you will find yourself isolated on an island where you will be stuck. It's a running joke. Men don't reach out for help and ask for directions. There is no such thing as the self-made man. Number 2, the second toxic myth that I want to share with you today is the myth of toxic positivity, where everything is supposed to be great, where you never have any problems. Well, that is absolutely, categorically untrue. The myth of toxic positivity is completely inconsistent with the human condition. Life, you will suffer. You will experience pain. Pain is mandatory, but suffering is optional. If you are afflicted by toxic positivity, that means you are not feeling. If you are not feeling, that means you are numbing, stuffing, and escaping. And we know what happens when you numb, cope, and escape. It is critical for you to be comfortable in your pain. You must change your relationship with pain, and you must change your relationship with suffering. Remember, pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. The third myth of self-help that I want to share with you today is the myth of unlimited expansion, and that is the cancerous growth of more. If I will be happy when I have the distinct privilege of working with men and women who are blessed and have resources and means beyond our wildest dreams. 7-figure budgets, senior executives, access to the latest and greatest. They come to me miserable. They are never present. They are never grounded in this moment. More. Now listen, I want you to have more. I want you to feed the right wolf inside you. We have natural drives to be significant. Natural drives to want things. That's okay. It's not bad to want. But be mindful of that want and remember that there's no future event of buying this car, getting this house, achieving this body type where you're finally going to be happy. It is a bottomless cup. It is a cup that can never be filled. It is a cup that can never be filled. More leads to suffering. Is the opposite of being mindful, and it is poison. Let's review those 3 myths again. Myth number 1 is the myth of the self-made man. You need someone to lean on and to help you grow. I need lots of people to lean on and to help me grow, and I stand on the shoulders of giants who helped lift me up and brought me to this place. I'm proud of that. When I'm struggling, I reach out for help. When I need guidance and support personally or professionally, I reach out for help. Myth number 2, the myth of toxic positivity. Everything's fine. Remember, pain is mandatory. There is no amount of growth that you can accomplish that will prevent you from feeling pain. Pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. The third myth is the myth of unlimited expansion. More, 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 and I will be happy when. I will be happy when this event occurs. And that event occurs, you achieve that goal, and you're still miserable. You're still unhappy because you're chasing something. The cup must fill from within. You must fill from within. You must fill from within. So if you want more information on these myths, and the link down below it, there should be, you can go to my website, check out my podcast, Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions, because Coach Adrian and I went into these issues in real detail. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll do a podcast, right? Hey, thanks, brother. Someone's here. Woohoo! I'm going to do a podcast. And that podcast will be a long-form podcast. And then I'm going to do an abbreviated version here. I'm going to stream it so you have access to it. I just uploaded the podcast. It should be in your feed if you're subscribing. The name of the podcast is Sex Afflictions and Porn Addictions. And I hope you check it out. I hope it helps you create healthy sexuality and a great life. Remember, if you want to be successful, you must feed the right wolf inside you and not get sucked up into the undertow with these toxic myths. Oh, here's another myth too. Sobriety equals success. That's the last one I want to leave you with. Sobriety equals success. Go to your 12-step meetings. Siri just scared the crap out of me. Look at the people, right? There are some people who were there. I remember them vividly with significant sobriety, but their lives were miserable. Their relations, they never repaired the damage that they caused. So that's myth number 4. Sobriety is success. Sobriety, not doing something, is one step towards, don't get me wrong, that's quite an accomplishment, but it alone is not sustainable. You must feed the right wolf inside you. You must live a great life. Why? Because that is the only possible way, objectively. It is the only possible way that you are able to counterbalance the reality that you have been using some aspect of your sexual expression to numb, cope, and escape. And regarding the myth of the self-made man, absolutely narcissistic-ish. It is poison. So I was going to do 3 myths. I decided to do 4 myths. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Subscribe, Sex Afflictions and Porn Addiction. Peace and love. And